You know, at times, winter fishing, it can be like fish in a barrel, in the fact that you have a lot of fish in sort of confined areas. Right now we're fishing crappies, and one of the key patterns to catch crappies in a lot of our moderate-sized lakes is you find the deep water basins, and a lot of the fish gather into these holes, and it could be anywhere from like 25 to as deep as 45 foot of water. Right now we're fishing in 40. Really a massive school of fish. There are probably hundreds of crappies in this particular school. But one thing that's really pretty interesting, you know how many holes we cut to find these fish? They're in this small area right here, but this basin is actually a pretty big area. So we have cut, if you look around here, I bet we've cut 50 holes, and we're looking to say, well, maybe they're not out here, you know, they're still up on the weed lines, or they're in a different basin in this lake. And it took, whoops, I dumped him. It took us a while to find them.
Ooh, there we go, that one just came up and pounded it.
One thing that's really vitally important is angling ethics in this situation, in the fact that this is not a catch and release situation. This is more of a straight harvest. You catch fish out of, you know, over like 30 foot of water, 25, 30 foot of water, and this applies to not only crappies like we're catching here, bass, walleyes, any type of fish caught out of deep water, that you don't catch that many of them. And that's what Jared and I what we're doing, and we're getting some freezer filling. These aren't really big crappies, but they're good eater-sized crappies.
We're out in the basin looking for lunch. So the idea here is I want to get 5 fish, one for me, one for my bride, one for my son, one for my daughter, and one just for extra to see who's still hungry when we get done eating. Catching fish in the basin is super fun because it's sight fishing with your electronics, but the secret to getting these fish is to fish something heavy. Now, I was trying to jig and wrap, I tried a slab wrap, I tried one of those chandelier deals. They're pretty finicky, so right now it's tungsten and a piece of plastic has been, as soon as I get it down, but that tungsten, this is a 1/16 ounce jig weight, and it falls like a bullet, and it's about the same size as what you'd see in, you're getting that 1/16 ounce, and it's so much smaller, it's really compact. But once you get that bait down there, all right, so you can see here, this is my flasher mode. Now I've got it in zoom mode, so what I'm zooming in on, this is the bottom here, but here's the fish, so I'm just zoomed in on the school of fish. So you see my jig is falling, now it's just entering into the fish. So once I get it to right where the fish are, I'm gonna start just kind of working that bait down real slowly. It's caught on the ice there. And you'll see them start to rise up. Look at that, see that? You can see how they're starting to rise up. Here comes one. He's probably gonna bite it. Looks like a good mark. This hole right there. Doop, he just grabbed it. Oop, and he dropped it. Just a little bump and run. Falling. Crappies love, you know, drop speed is a big deal. So when you want a bait that gets down there, but you don't want to just plummet right to their level. You want to, oh, that was cool. Watch my rod tip. Boop. Haha, got him. So one of the myths you might have heard, people say, you know, if you get fish in deep water, you just reel them up slow and they'll release just fine. Well, it's just not true. The way that the fish process the gas expansion in their air bladder would take them, I forget what it was, I just saw some research on this that was done. Basically, to catch a fish like this and have it survive and reel it slow, you'd have to reel it up for about 3 hours. So that's not really in the cards. So again, above and beyond just that expansion of their air bladder from the pressure difference, you've got capillaries that are exploding. And you'll see, I'll lay this crappie out for just a minute here, and I'll show you in probably 60 seconds or so, you'll see a bunch of redness around its mouth, around its eyes, around its gills, and those are capillaries exploding from that pressure difference. So anyway, when you do this basin crappie deal, whatever you catch, I don't care if it's a 6-inch crappie or if it's a 14-inch crappie, you're killing all of them. So catch what you want to eat, and then go look for something that's in the shallows and have some fun with that. So I've got 4, one more for me. Bring somebody up, here we go, like that guy. Dunk, watch my rod tip. Yep, ooh. Little guy. But it actually makes it more fun when you're missing a few fish, because you don't, I mean, he just bit again. every time you do this, it's the deal. So here he comes. They're just nice fish, which is great. I don't feel too bad about killing those. But look at this. See what I was talking about earlier? I just dropped down. So this is the time it took me basically to catch this one, drop down, catch this one. You see this, all this redness here? I'm talking about, see how red it is right there? You can see in his mouth, see how it's just gushing blood from where that, just the hook hit him. So you can see the effects are quite visible. I know it's super tough to walk away from a screen that's loaded with fish like that, but it's the right thing to do. If you want to have good fishing into the future, you just can't exploit this resource. Get your fish and get out.
I mean, these guys here are perfect eaters. I don't need that many of them. I think I'm going to take 4. And that's all she does. That's all she wrote. Sort of fun. We haven't been out here on this lake this year. But we're done for the day, or we're going fishing for whitefish.